Hi there, this is Amit and you're watching the live Q&A of the all-new OnePlus 2 Android smartphone. And I'll be picking up all your questions if you keep sending me through the Periscope, that's which will be shown up here. And also I'll be answering them on YouTube. So we are live on both the websites, that's Periscope application and YouTube. So I hope YouTube would be showing me some live questions here. I'm just trying to pick them up. They don't show up yet. Meanwhile, I'll be picking up questions on OnePlus One on the Periscope feed. So first off, if you have any questions, keep feel free to share them here and let me know. So before we start off, here is a quick comparison on the OnePlus 2 with the OnePlus One. Both of these are the sandstone black variants, as you can see here, and clearly there's a lot of difference in terms of the color itself. And on the back, you had this cyanogen mod branding, while now we don't have any branding on the back. Again, I don't know if there would be branding or not because this is not the retail unit yet and this is the review unit. Overall, if you really look on both of these smartphones in detail, there's a lot of difference. The OnePlus 2 looks quite mature, and with the metallic bezel on the side, that's a rim, it looks pretty cool now and feels better in my opinion again. So that's about the OnePlus 2 in terms of the design. While on the front, there's not much of a difference, but again, you had seen that the chassis earlier looked clearly on the top here, but that's not showing up here. Can you tell me what are the connectors under the back cover? So what are the connector under the back cover? So let me just pop out this back panel and show you what all comes on the back. Sadly, there's no removable battery, and what you have here is only the option to insert the SIM card, and that's what you get on the back. There's nothing else. I really hope that the feed is clear to you guys. So that's what you get here. Let me quickly swap to the YouTube questions. So here there's a question which says, I really want to see this. Okay. Um, well, my question is, Bala Vignesh has a question asking about the quick charging 2.0 technology worth the trade-off for all the hyping and praising USB Type-C connector has. So I will tell you, I this phone was on a very low battery earlier, and I started charging this phone, and I realized that it took 15 minutes for every 10% of charge, which clearly means that to get a 100% charge on this smartphone, it takes 150 minutes, and that's not I mean low. It's very high considering that around 2.5 hours is pretty high. Is OnePlus 2 a shameful release? No, it's not a shameful release. I would say it's a pretty good smartphone, and at this price point, it's very value for money device considering all the features. And I have started liking the camera itself. I will be doing a separate camera review showing you all the camera samples from this unit, and we can give you an idea on the same. In terms of the feel while using the smartphone, I feel that it's pretty mature enough, and the moment you hold it, you really feel that it's a premium smartphone when compared to even the Apple iPhone. I don't really feel the iPhone is really worth the hype. In case, as you can see, I have already added a case to my iPhone, and for this phone I don't need that. And the best part is that after a few months, if the back panel is wear off, you can get a new one at a very low price. I keep missing these questions if you keep posting on Periscope. So if it's fine, can you keep reposting your questions? Do you have an iPhone 6 Plus and keep it next to it? No, I don't have an iPhone 6 Plus. I just have this iPhone 6 because I felt the iPhone 6 Plus was pretty much fragile, and hence I kept this one. First impressions on the camera. It's a pretty good camera, I would say. Almost close enough to the LG G4, which had impressed me in terms of the camera. I did find a few bugs on this device. Like, let me just clearly show you that once. The first thing is that the phone comes with gesture options, which means that let's say if you would like to enable the flashlight, you don't have to uh, lock. Unlock the phone. You can just set V, and this is on. While if you want to switch on the camera, you just have to say C, but it doesn't show up your camera application, while the same is available even when you switch on the screen and you can go to the camera application. So this clearly looks like an bug to me. Apart from that, when you talk about the fingerprints camera, it's perfect. It's perfectly doing its job, and it's uh, almost close to the iPhone, I would say. Again, I would be using both of them parallelly, and then I can let you know. Do you think the underclocking on the 810 controlling is controlling the heat? No, there's a lot of heating. I personally felt when I started using this. I was capturing a few 4K videos earlier, and I felt the device heated a lot. Again, we can only know once we record these things and show it to you live while recording it. So right now, as you can see, I'm recording this 4K video, and I'll be showing you the heating temperatures in a while. So let it go on. The next question is benchmark scores. So right now the temperature is around 31 degrees, and that's because we are also in an air conditioned studio. But let's wait for a while. Regarding the benchmark scores, I think I saw a score of 56,000 on this device on Antutu. But again, benchmark doesn't mean anything, because end of the day it's about the experience, and you get a great experience while using this smartphone, because the OS, that's Oxygen OS, that's 2.0, is almost giving you stock like experience, and that's one of the best feature of this smartphone. Let me move to YouTube and refresh, because the backend doesn't show me. So how was the Touch ID? Ravi has a question. How was the Touch ID when compared with the iPhone? As I mentioned earlier, it's almost similar. I mean, pretty much impressed with that. But there's one more thing which we see on the iPhone always, is this physical notification toggle button, and that's what we have on the OnePlus 2. But that's not that comfortable. Again, I mean, it's very hard. Maybe after a few uses, it would become a bit better. But as of now, it's very hard to use it. Bala Vignesh has a question. Will you suggest OnePlus 2 for your family and friends just from the initial impressions? Yes, I would say that initially I was a great fan of the LG G4, considering the camera and the features. For me, right now, the only issue with the OnePlus 2 is that it doesn't come with the 2K display. Again, you may all comment that 2K is still a long way to go, but if you call this a phone as a 2016 flagship killer, then there's no sense if you are launching it with a 1080p display. How would you compare it with the S6 or the iPhone 6? I think I missed something. So in terms of S6, I was pretty decently happy with the S6, but not comfortable with it. While the best phone I would say till now was the LG G4, and I think this one can actually beat the LG G4 with a few things. Like the LG G4 came with LG's own UI, which was not that great. While this one is almost stock like experience and comes with the latest Android, that's 5.1.1. And while when I talk about the available RAM out of the box, when I have no applications running in the background, the device is having around 2.4 to 2.5 GB RAM available all the time, and that's a good amount of RAM available. Like if you recall, I had reviewed the last one, that's the Meizu MX5, and it had some issues with the RAM. So that's about the RAM. Now the video has been recorded for around 3 minutes. As you can clearly see, it's around it's around 3 minutes now. Let's quickly check the temperature. So it's around 40 degrees around the camera area. The device has not heated up much, but I recall earlier when I recorded a video of around 10 minutes, it heated up a lot. So it would all be because I'm not even using the device right now. It's and there's nothing else here. Next question. Let me just switch to YouTube. How to buy the Mi controller, which company, sensor. There's no information on the sensor used on this device, so we can only know one in a few days. What do you think of the camera versus G4 and S6? It's better than S6, but still not comparable with the G4 in terms of the low light. But I didn't get time to even use it in the low light yet. Next question was some. I think I missed the question on Periscope, because Periscope doesn't allow you to keep the questions there for a longer period. The questions go away. So keep reposting your questions if it's possible, or else you can post it on YouTube, which is better. So Mayank says it's O for camera. Let me just check that. And yes, so Mayank just helped me in figuring this out. So I was doing a mistake. I thought it's C for camera because it's considering C for camera, but the actual thing was it's off, which is what you need to set as a gesture. Retail price. Pranit has a question about the retail price. This is priced around 22,000, 23,000 for the 16 GB variant and 25,000 for the 64 GB variant. Am I not audible? I thought it was pretty much clear. Maybe others can also comment on the same. Sure. So keep posting your other questions so I can respond to them. So here's a close look on both of these smartphones when kept close by. Okay, guys, your next questions I'll be trying to speak out loud now. So these are both the smartphones kept next to next. In terms of the sides, the OnePlus 2 is pretty much good looking. And here's a demo of the finger scanner. Works good. Let me switch to YouTube and check out if there are any other questions. How is the speaker quality? I have not yet tested the speaker quality. What is the cost of the swappable back covers? There's no information yet on the availability of the same, so we cannot comment on the same. But obviously, we would be getting four different options. I think $390, 25K will be priced. So this officially the price has been announced. That's 25K for this 64 GB variant, the one which I have with me right now, and that's what we get. Which is better, the Oxygen OS or the Cyanogen? I think there are differences. If you talk about Cyanogen, it offers with more customizations, while Oxygen is more like stock-like experience. Will there be an update for the OnePlus One on the Oxygen OS? So I got a call today from the OnePlus team saying that there would be a new OT update coming on this device, and I should be keeping an eye for that. But right now, when I check for the updates, there are no updates available at the moment. So as of now, today, that's 20 July 30th, there's no update available for this device. But again, there are updates for some bug fixes or any major issues, which I don't really see any at the moment. So if you really want to see the Oxygen OS, this is what you get. On the left, you get the option of the frequent applications and frequent contacts, while you get an app drawer, which has all the stock applications, except that you get three different applications. That's the Amazon Kindle and Amazon Shopping application, and then the SwiftKey, which is a keyboard application which comes pre-installed onto this device. So that's about the pre-installed applications. Next up, when you talk about applications, should I buy the OnePlus 2 noting that there's no NFC and quick charging, or Note 5 or Xiaomi new flagship? I think if you are comfortable with the larger screens, then you should actually take a look at the upcoming Note 5. But again, do make a note that the Note 5 would be heavily priced. I mean, somewhere around 50,000 rupees and not in the range of what you get on this smartphone. Let me show you the available RAM at the moment. Exactly, it's a 2x price smartphone. It makes no sense buying that one. So here, right now, there's the system is taking around 1.1 GB, apps are 236 MB, and then finally you have 2.3 GB RAM available. So this phone can take up a lot of resources. If you want to run a lot of high-end games, you can easily run them. Using OnePlus One, should I upgrade to OnePlus Two? No, I don't really see any major changes from the OnePlus One to the OnePlus Two unless you are not satisfied with something. I mean, the camera on OnePlus One was pretty terrific and great, and this one is obviously an upgrade, but it really makes no sense. Tempted to change from a Nexus 6 if it's 25K. Yes, you can make the change because Nexus 6 is too large and not comfortable to hold. Well, this one is decently comfortable, and iPhone obviously has the perfect form factor in terms of holding it with one hand. But when you talk about the OnePlus 2. It's almost comfortable. I mean, it all depends. If you are a person who needs larger displays, then this is something you can take a look at. Charging time, I have already mentioned earlier, it takes around 2.5 hours to charge. I mean, it took me 15 minutes for every 10% of charge. That can give you an idea. Let me check some more questions on YouTube. How much time is available? I just answered that, Anshul. I hope I'm not missing any questions, and if I am, blame YouTube because this is what I'm seeing right now. Please flash some other ROM. Yes, I would be doing soon. I would be first rooting this device and then flashing it. So I'll be doing a separate video on PhoneRadar once I do the same. FM radio is there. I didn't check that. I didn't find any application specifically for that. So I'll have to install a third party app and check that out. You do get a file manager application pre-installed. So yes, the biggest issue right now with this smartphone is the slow charging. No NFC. Again, people would comment that who would be using it on a regular basis, but that's fine. And I would like to swap to Cyanogen mod. Well, that's your own preference. Moto X style compared to OnePlus 2. Considering the previous experiences, like I have used the Moto X 2012, the Moto X, the Moto initial Motorola Moto X, and then the Droid Turbo. I have had a very bad experience in terms of the camera, at least on all the Motorola smartphones. They're not at par with all the other smartphones. Again, they have made some great claims that it is the best smartphone at that price point, but I don't really vouch on that. So let's wait once the Moto's latest series would be launched in India. In terms of battery, yes, this is definitely going to offer us a better battery because there's no uh, bloatware running in the background. Trying to pick up some other questions. I don't see any other questions on. Please compare the Moto X 2015 with the One Plus One and One Plus Two. I think I would be actually comparing the One Plus One with the One Plus Two, and the video should be going live by tomorrow. But I don't think I'd be comparing it with the Moto X 2015 as it makes no sense at the moment. They're not even comparable. Like this is a different class together. Comments on OIS on the OnePlus 2. So Jay, I think you should be waiting for another day. I would be going on outing on Sunday and I would be capturing a lot of photos and then I can do a detailed camera review of this smartphone. How much would the Moto style cost? Should be around 25K on the same price of this smartphone. Call clarity, it's pretty decent enough. I mean, I didn't find any issues with that like the ones which I had with the Lenovo K3 Note. I think it's time, it's 20 minutes. It's time to stop this live Q&A. Got any other questions, quickly send them in and I'll be picking them up. I don't find any other questions on YouTube. Do you think this phone will ensure there would be no OnePlus 3 for the next 2 years? Now, well, when the brand says it's a flagship 2016 killer, which clearly means that, and I think this phone has come, I think, after 16 months of after their first flagship, which means that obviously the next one would be at least another 12 to 15 months later, and that would be coming in 2017, which clearly means that if you're planning to buy this, you cannot expect an upgrade in the next 12 to 15 months, unlike the other brands which are pushing a new device within 12 months, or maybe like Sony, which is pushing every 6 months. Moto X and OnePlus 2. So I really wish I could get a device from US, but considering the current backlog in terms of reviews, I don't think I want to get another unit from US at the moment. So that's it, guys. Thanks for sending your questions. And if you have any other questions or if I missed anything, you can just tweet them to me at Amit Bhavani or at PhoneRadar blog on Twitter. This was an interesting live session. I will be answering them on Twitter. Stay tuned, guys, for the upcoming camera reviews and a comparison which will be coming up tomorrow itself on this channel. Till then, see you guys. Thank you. Bye bye.